I'm a faculty member in Computer Science Department, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. So this is a live session from the lab. So today we are basically going to understand this concept initially, independent and layered approach to write the code. And after that, we will start completing our project where we will complete the project from scratch. We will write all the classes, all the things in this live session. So what is this independent and layered approach to write the code? If you look at the code that we have done in the lab, maybe our fourth or third week, where we had two classes, a customer class and a product class. If you remember that code, so what that code does actually, hold on. Okay, I've deleted all those files. In customer and product class, a customer could buy a multiple products. So that's why in the customer class, we have a list of products. Okay. And where we write the whole driver code. In the main, we write all the functions to take input from the user in the main. We write all the function to deal with the file handling in the main. But that approach is not a recommended approach. Okay. So in this lecture, basically, we are going to learn a way that is basically appreciated by the industry, or this is a kind of standard to write the code. Okay, so the concept name is independent and layered approach to write your code. So this is my quick introduction. Well, this is all we have just discussed. Okay, so when you create a class, and of course, whenever you are making a project, you have to deal with some inputs and outputs. So if the project require the file handling, you need to deal with the files, of course. So where to write that code? Where to write that code? So because it is not possible to write whole code in the main, it's not possible to write the whole code in this program file, because of course after maybe when you will have around, okay, I'm sorry, uh, okay, well, so this is not possible to write all the code here in this file. Okay, because as our project will grow, we will have so many features in our application, so that's not possible to write all the code in this section. So that's why we need a standard way that we can opt for developing application. So this time we are going to develop application that is standard. So you can consider this application a proper application, and later on it is very easy to modify. For example, in future, we will be attaching our database with this application. You have nothing to do. You have to just play with only one class. Okay, in future, you will be changing this console into a window form or web form or a desktop based application. You have to only play with just few files, just very minimum changes, and you will get your project done. So that's why we need an approach that facilitate us to make changes when it's growing, when it is changing, when the requirement is changing. So we don't want to mess with the whole project again and again. So that's why we are going to learn a concept, a layered programming. So in this, what we do basically, we make a UI layer where we deal with the UIs. We make a business logic layer. We call it a service layer where we deal with the business logic. Business logic mean like searching a record from the list, deleting a record, finding a record, updating a record, or maybe doing some analysis on the data. And then we have a data access layer. We call it a repository layer. That layer basically deal with the files. Initially in this lecture we will be dealing with the file, but you can later on change the file code into the database code, and you have just converted your whole application with the database. And one layer that we call it a model layer. Okay, so these are the four layers that we will be using in all the operations, and you can cram them, you can practice it as you will go with different labs. Of course you will learn it. No, this is not concept of subclasses. Actually, this is something else. Okay, let's go through it. Maybe you get this idea. Well, now because our classes are increasing, it means for single class we are going to create around four classes. So our code is going to be a little messy initially. So how you can manage the code? So these are two popular approaches. The one approach is you make 4 folders: model, repository, service, and UI, and place each related class in the related folder. For example, if you have 4 models, place all the models classes in this folder. You have 3 repositories classes, place all the repositories classes there. Okay, so this is one way. The other way, that is my favorite actually, make a folder by entity, make a folder by entity and place all the files inside the folder. So for example, if we have a student and we are dealing with the student UI, make a file, we are dealing with student service, student repository, student model. So all the files related to student should go into the student folder. All the file related to a teacher should go into the teacher folder. So this is one approach, this is second approach, both are correct. This is good for small and this is good for complex large project. Okay, because when you are developing a feature for a system, you mostly working on all the files at a time. For example, you are going to add a feature for a teacher in a system, so you will be working at the same time on all these files. So that's why it is good idea to keep all these files in a single folder so you can easily navigate between files. Okay, yes. Yes, of course, these files are accessible to each others. No problem. Like if you want to create a student model object in this any of this class, you can. It's not a boundary. Foldering is not a boundary. Foldering is like a logical distribution, or you can consider it's logical and physical, of course, distribution of your code to manage it easily. Okay. Okay. So which one is better? Of course, second one, because that is my favorite. Okay. But I told you the reason why that's my favorite. Yeah, it's good. Okay, thank you. So most of the time we also make one folder common where we can place our common files, common classes. So initially maybe we don't need it, but this is something you may see in the code. Well, so let's see how these classes work together. So if you can see this, well, so student.txt is our txt file. Our data live in this file. Okay, our data live in this file. We load the data with the help of repository. Okay, whenever we want to load a single record, or whenever we want to save a single record, whenever we want to load the all data from the file, we will write our code in this repository class. So it means this class will only deal with file handling. In future we will learn database, we will change the code of this file only. It will facilitate us all the features. It will facilitate us with all the features. Yes. So this is student service business logic. So this is a service layer. This is service layer. What it does actually, it work with the repository, okay, and it help the user interface to make different decisions. For example, how in the UI you take all the data of an entity. For example, we consider a student record. You take all the data from the UI, you pass the data to this service, and this service will send the data to this repository, and this repository will save it. Now that was very simple. Even for this operation you can directly connect this repository with this. Then why we need this service class? Okay, well, for example, you want to search a student by name, then this basically service comes in the picture. You will take the data, the name from the user from this layer, you will send that name to this layer. This will load all the data from this, and here we will write the logic to search that record. Yes, the ultimate purpose of this file is to send the data to the file and load the data from the file. If you have any operation like searching data in the file, updating any record in the file, or doing anything that is on the data, this service will do it. Okay, hold on. I give the answer for this. Just give me complete. Let me complete it. Now, how this student model work actually? This is a data. This is data structure. Basically, Here we define how these classes will communicate with each other. So see, we will take the student data, we will send the student data, this will send the student data, and this will save the student data. So the model is a something that is a container that contain the data. It means we say like this is how these all classes work together, how these will pass the data between each other. Okay? If you have any question. Okay. Well, ये सारा बता दूं उर्दू में. Okay. I can't pause it even. Pause भी नहीं होता यार ये तो. I'm recording the video ना. Okay. Anyway, हम इसमें थोड़ा टाइम निकाल के उर्दू वाले पार्ट्स निकाल देंगे इसमें से, या फिर उर्दू वाले रहने देंगे.